Okay, today's class, children, uh, we are going to see a very important topic, Wheatstone's bridge. Wheatstone bridge. Okay, where we are going to apply Kirchhoff's first and second rule here. It is one of the application of that, where we are applying Kirchhoff's first and second rule. Okay, right. Now, what is a Wheatstone bridge? Wheatstone bridge is an arrangement of four resistances. Four resistances in the form of, see, P, Q, R, X here. Here I have drawn this P, Q, R, S. Okay, four resistances in the form of a bridge, which is used for measuring one unknown resistance, only one unknown resistance in the form of other three known resistances. Okay, as such we have four resistances P, Q, R, S. All are what are the four resistances are there, and they are connected in the form of a bridge. Okay, and what is the purpose of that? It is used for measuring one unknown resistance in terms of other three known resistances. Okay, so this is what is called a Wheatstone bridge. Okay, four resistors connected in the form of a bridge. Okay, of which if one is unknown, okay, then that can be measured, that can be calculated in terms of other three known resistors. Okay, right. So now we are going to see how it works. Okay, so for that, see, I have given here, that is one more, four P, Q, R, S are resistors. And in, see, between the points B and D, there is a galvanometer is connected. Okay, and between the points A and C, there is a source of EMF, that is E. And of course, K1 and K2 are keys here. Okay, right. Now, I'm going to, what are all the currents now? See here, if I told you here, we are going to use Kirchhoff's first and second rule here. Okay, how? That we will see now. See, the current here, which is coming from, yeah, this is I. Okay, the current I. It comes up to A. The current I comes up to A. After that is branching out. Okay, so let me give the current through, what is that, P is I1. The current through P is I1. Okay, therefore if the current through P is I1, therefore I think you can very easily apply it. See here, the current is, what is the current here? It is I1. Okay, therefore what should be the current through R? Therefore current through R, you apply Kirchhoff's first rule, junction rule. Okay, therefore what is that? The net current that is entering the junction should be equal to the net, that is the current that is leaving the junction. Therefore total current at any junction should be equal to 0. Therefore the current entering is entering A is I, and one of the current leaving A is I1. Therefore what should be the current that is through R, through the resistance R, should be, what is I minus I1 now? Are you following? I minus I1. Why? Why? Because I is coming, entering to A. Okay, and at the same I should leave A. Okay, therefore if what are the currents that is leaving A here? I1. Okay, and what is that here? I minus I1. Are you following? I minus, here it is I1 and here I minus I1. Therefore what is the net current? If you add both, it will be I. Therefore I is entering and total current I is leaving A. Are you following? Therefore you are applied what? Which Kirchhoff's first rule. Okay, therefore that, like that you have to see, entering at the point A, the current should be 0. Therefore here it is I is coming, Therefore, I is entering and I is leaving. Okay, with that we have uh, okay, what is the current in the branch AB and AD is known now. After that, you see the I1 current is actually going up to B, correct? This is oh, current is, what is the current that is going? Enter, that is, it is towards B. Towards B, the current that is entering towards B is I1, correct? That I1, but here there are two more branches from B. What are they here? See, I1 is the current entering. The same here it is. Okay, what is the current? Here galvanometer. This G here is a galvanometer. G is a, see here, in the G is a galvanometer. Galvanometer is meant for measuring small currents and okay, therefore this here we are connecting between the what is that points B and D. A galvanometer is connected, and through the galvanometer some current is going, that is Ig. Current through the galvanometer is Ig. Okay. Okay. Now, what should be the current in the branch BC? Therefore, BC should be, what is that? I1 minus Ig. Correct? I1 minus Ig. Only then at the point B, there won't be any accumulation of current. Whatever current is entering, that should definitely leave the point. Okay, therefore I1 is the current that is entering. Okay, therefore leaving is Ig and I1 minus Ig. Therefore, if you add, net current will be I1 only. Therefore, I1 is entering and I1 is leaving the point B. Hope you are following. This is how you have to calculate what is the current in different branches. Right. Now, okay, one more branch is left. What is that? DC. Okay, DC, you see, at D, there are two currents that is passing towards D. Okay, what are they? See, I minus I1, okay, and Ig. Okay, I minus I1 and Ig, these two currents are actually flowing towards D. Okay, therefore that current should go, it is entering, na? It is moving, it is towards D. Therefore, how much current should go away from D? Therefore, how much current should go away from D? That should be, say, I minus I1. That is, what is that in the path that is AD? Okay, and in the path BD, what is that? Ig, na? So plus Ig. So this is the current that is flowing. What is that? In the path that is DC. Okay, so that is flowing away. That is which is flowing away from D. Only then total current and D will be equal to 0. Okay, right. Now see, therefore now you see there are other points. See, at C, how many, what are all the current that is entering from in the path DC. In the path DC, what is the current? I minus I1 plus Ig. Correct? Okay, and what is the current that is entering from in the path from B to C? B to C, what is the current? I1 minus Ig. Therefore, add I1 because both are entering now. Therefore, I1 minus Ig. Okay, that is the total current that is entering C. Entering C. Okay, therefore you see this and this will cancel, this and this will cancel. What is the current here? Current which is coming here, it is I, and the current leaving C will also be, this will be. Okay, so this is first, what is the Wheatstone bridge is given, PQRS. Okay, and here what is that? It is connected to, then between B and D there is a galvanometer, right? Now we are going to see what is see. This is meant for, as I told you, this is meant for measuring the resistance. Okay, so we are now entering into the what is that? How to measure the resistance, unknown resistance. Now with this we are going to see. Okay, now see, consider, see, actually when we have to see whether the bridge is balanced or not. What is the condition? Wheatstone bridge, okay, is said to be balanced, okay, when no deflection is there in the galvanometer, which is connected between the points B and D. Okay, therefore the current, therefore the bridge is said to be, Wheatstone bridge is said to be balanced when there is no current in the galvanometer. Galvanometer should show null deflection, should show null deflection. Okay, therefore that we have to see. We have to see what is that? The bridges, we have to bring the bridge to a balance. Okay, how to bring the bridge? By adjusting the resistors P, Q, R and S. We have to adjust the resistors P, Q, R and S. We have to, okay, such that, okay, the galvanometer shows zero deflection, that is null deflection, so that no current is passing through the galvanometer. As such, in this diagram, Ig is the current that is passing through the galvanometer. So you have to adjust all all the resistors in such a way that no current is passing through the galvanometer. Okay, so what is the condition for that? Now the condition only we are going to derive. Okay, therefore what is the Wheatstone's bridge balancing condition for Wheatstone bridge? Now we are going to derive the balancing condition for Wheatstone bridge. We are going to derive. Okay, so now you see here, the same, this diagram here, it is given here, you see, is a battery, and these are all color code carbon resistors are given now. Okay, let this be, okay, let me give you, this is P and this is Q and this is R and this is S. Okay, here yes, you see it is a variable resistance. So that can be variable resistance, you can adjust so that, what is that? The galvanometer here, this is the galvanometer. Galvanometer shows null deflection. At the center it is there now. So it shows null deflection. Okay, so you have to adjust the resistance so that galvanometer shows null deflection. Okay, when the galvanometer shows null deflection, you can say that the bridge is balanced. The bridge is balanced. Are you following? Is it clear? Hope you are following how to distribute the current in different branches by using by using Kirchhoff's first rule. Okay, junction rule. Right. Now, how to, we are going for deriving the balancing condition. Okay, for that. First, you see, what is, you take any, already we have used junction rule. Junction rule use karke, first which is a rule? By using junction rule, see, in we are going to apply both the rules of Kirchhoff's here. Okay, already we have used junction rule. How do you say? For finding the current in different branches, we have used only junction rule. By using junction rule, we have given the current in different branches. Right, fine. Okay, now we are going to derive the balancing condition for Wheatstone bridge. How? By using, okay, Kirchhoff's second rule. Which rule? That is called loop rule is there now, that we are going to use. Where? See, applying. Now I am going to, okay, let me go for applying Kirchhoff's second rule. Second rule, okay, you see, where in the loop, in the closed loop, A, B, D, A. So it is A, B, D, A in this loop. Okay. So A, B, D, A. Now we are going to apply Kirchhoff's second rule. Kirchhoff's second rule. What is a Kirchhoff's second rule? The algebraic sum of the product of the current and the resistance in a closed circuit is equal to the algebraic sum of the EMFs in that loop. Okay, in that path. Therefore, now what is that? ABDA. In the ABDA, can you apply here? You know that the clockwise current is positive. Okay, therefore here you see the current in AB. Current in AB is clockwise. Current in AB is clockwise, na? Therefore, how do you apply here? I1P. Positive, na? Clockwise. Right. Then, current through BD. Current through BD, that is also a clockwise current only, na? Therefore, that is also positive. Therefore, IG. Okay, and let capital G be the galvanometer. Is G, I have given a galvanometer resistance. Okay, capital G be the galvanometer resistance. Therefore, okay, this is a galvanometer having a resistance, that is capital G. Are you following that circle? Okay, IgG. Okay, now one more, because we are applying in A, B, D, A, na? Therefore, the one more is, what is a DA? In DA, what is the current direction is anti-clockwise or na? Anti-clockwise or therefore it will be negative then. For minus, what is the current here? I minus I1 into R. I minus I1 into R. Hope you are following. Okay. And that should be equal to algebraic sum of the EMFs in that path. What is the EMF here? What is the EMF here? Is there any source here? No. Therefore, it will be equal to 0. Are you following? This is equation number 1. Equation number 1. Are you following? Hope you are following. Okay. So, you have applied now. What we have done? We have applied the Kirchhoff's second rule in the closed loop ABDA. Now, applying. Same. Now, applying the rule in. Applying. Okay, the same, applying the same rule where in, okay, B, you see B, C, D, it is B na, I think we are, okay, it is B, C, D, B, okay, it is in B, C, D, B, okay, now you tell me now, what is a B, C, D, B? Therefore, the current here in BC, tell me what is the current in BC? BC is, it is clockwise only, clockwise current na, BC mein to clockwise current, therefore it is I minus IG into Q, correct? Therefore, I can apply here, therefore I minus IG into Q, okay, and now you tell me next one, here in this, next one is in CD. In CD, what is the, see here it is anti-clockwise जा रहे हैं ना? CD में तो anti-clockwise जा रहे हैं. Therefore, current is, what is that? Here, this is CD, here it is anti-clockwise. Therefore, what should be? It is negative, therefore current has to be negative here. Therefore, can you tell me? Minus, therefore, minus I minus I1 plus IG into S. Into S. Are you following? Okay. I minus IG into G minus I minus I1 plus IG. Okay. One more is there. What is there? It is BD hai na? Because we are going to apply B, C, D, B. Therefore, BC we have applied. That is I1 minus IG into Q. And CD also we have applied I minus minus of minus I minus I1 plus IG. And another one is in BD. BD is in which current it is? It is anti-clockwise direction only, na? With respect to BCDB, IG is in anti-clockwise direction. Same with respect to ABDA, IG is clockwise direction. Hope you are following that which loop you are taking. That is very important here. So with respect to BCDB, IG is negative. Therefore, I think I can apply minus IG. Galvanometer resistance क्या होता है इसमें? Capital G. That is equal to Z, the 0, that is 2. Okay, right? Therefore, now bridge is said to be balanced when do we, what is the condition? Bridge is bridge is said to be balanced when galvanometer, okay, shows no deflection, no, or it is called null deflection. It's called null deflection. No deflection means what is a zero? It has to stay at zero. Okay. Therefore, correct, bridge is said to be balanced when galvanometer shows zero deflection, no deflection. Okay, that is IG should be equal to 0. IG should be equal to 0. Okay, therefore, by putting IG value is equal to 0 in equation 1 and 2. Okay, therefore, equation 1 and 2, okay, becomes, why it is IG is equal to 0 now, once, because the bridge is said to be balanced only when no current through the galvanometer. Therefore, put IG is equal to 0. Therefore, equation 1 becomes now I1P minus I minus I1R. That is equal to 0. Okay, like that. Therefore, you can say I1P that is equal to I minus I1 into, sorry, this R you see, I minus I1 into R. Correct? I minus I1 into R. Okay, this is equation number 1. On putting IG is equal to 0. Now, what is equation number 2? How it will become now? This will be 0, na? IgG will be 0. Therefore, similarly, this is equation 1 becomes, okay, this is equation 1. Okay, and equation 2, therefore, there is no need for this. See, I have given 1 and 2 becomes, okay, therefore, this is equation number 1. And equation number 2 will be I minus I minus Ig into, see equation 2, I minus Ig into Q minus I minus I1 plus Ig. There also what is that? Ig 0 na. Therefore apply, therefore Ig is 0. This equation also your Ig will go na. Therefore you will be getting only, what is that? Yes. Okay, that is equal to 0. Okay, here also you will get G. Why? What is the need for G? Ig here. This also will go now. Because Ig is equal to, okay, yeah. Okay, Ig, because Ig becomes 0. Therefore, your first, the second equation will be reduced to, okay, I into Q minus I minus I1, yes, that is equal to 0, right? Therefore, you will be getting IR, it is, okay, this I minus, how it will be I minus Ig, children? It will be I1 minus Ig now. Yeah, it is I1. I1 minus Ig. Okay, I1 minus Ig, and here I minus I1 plus Ig. That's correct, right? Okay, therefore you will be getting I1 into Q, that is equal to this. Therefore you will be getting here I1 into Q is equal to I minus I1 into S. Let this be equation number 3 and this is 4. Are you following? So just by putting Ig is equal to 0, equation 1 and 2 becomes like this. Okay, now very simple. Okay, 3 by 4, equation 3 by 4 karo. Okay, therefore equation 3 by 4 if you do, you will be getting, okay, P I1P divided by I1Q, that is equal to I minus I1 into R divided by I minus I1 into S. Fine. Therefore, you will be getting here the condition, required condition now. What is that? P by Q, that is equal to R by S. This is the required condition for balancing condition for Wheatstone's bridge. Are you following? P by Q, that is equal to R by S. That is nothing but Wheatstone's principle. You may be asked, what is Wheatstone principle? What is Wheatstone principle? Okay, when four resistors are connected in the form of a bridge, okay, then the bridge is said to be balanced only when, okay, there is no current through the galvanometer. That will be attained only when, what is it, P by Q, that is equal to R by S. Or different four resistors P, Q, R, S are connected in the form of a bridge. Okay, and the bridge is said to be balanced only when, what is that, P by Q is equal to R by S. Bridge balancing means what is that, no current in the galvanometer. That's it, null deflection in the galvanometer. If there is null deflection in the galvanometer, you can say that there is no, the bridge is balanced. Bridge is balanced. Is it clear? Okay, so what are all the importance of, importance of Wheatstone bridge is, say, because we are using the, in the Wheatstone bridge, we are using null method. What do you mean the null method? We are going for null deflection in the galvanometer. That is why I told you here how to go for null deflection here. See, I told you here, yes is there, no? This yes, it is a variable one. Variable. So you are going on changing the resistance such that galvanometer comes to 0. Comes to 0. Then you can say confidently that yes, the bridge is balanced. Bridge is balanced. And you can even say, if that is bridge is balanced, means definitely P by Q is equal to R by S, that condition is automatically satisfied. Automatically satisfied. Are you following? Therefore, now because we are using null deflection, null method here, okay, therefore the whatever reading we are measuring, the measurement of unknown resistance, okay, is very accurate. Very, very accurate. Are you following? And another one is, see, this method is actually your Wheatstone bridge is unaffected. It remains unaffected because the internal resistance of the cell, even the cell is having any internal resistance, it's not going to be affected. Because why not? Okay, because we are considering only PQRS, that's it. And also internal resistance of the cell is immaterial here, and also galvanometer resistance is also immaterial. Why internal resistance and resistance of the galvanometer, it is immaterial. Why? Because we are going for Ig is equal to 0, no? Therefore, whatever is the resistance G, capital G, is immaterial. Therefore, your Wheatstone bridge method remains unaffected by the internal resistance of the cell and also the resistance of the galvanometer. And one more very important thing is, see, it becomes very sensitive. The meter, what is the Wheatstone's bridge becomes so very sensitive if all the resistance PQRS, no, in the 4 ohms are nearly equal, almost the same. They're almost the same, then it becomes very sensitive. Okay, therefore the meter will be very, very sensitive. Are you following, children? So this is the deriving what is the balancing Wheatstone bridge and deriving the balancing condition for Wheatstone bridge. Is it clear? Right. Now next topic, a very very important topic. What is that? Here it is nothing but application of Wheatstone's bridge. We are going to see the application of Wheatstone's bridge. Okay, where we are applying in practice, because I told you what is it's meant for, measurement of unknown resistance, right? So that we are going to see. Okay, so this we will be doing. This is one of the experiment that is included in the what is that, your curriculum practicals. Okay, therefore now we'll see what is it. See here, this is what is called meter bridge, application of Wheatstone bridge. Okay, so it is meter bridge. You can say application of Wheatstone bridge. It is what is called, what is that? It is meter bridge. Or it is also called as slide wire bridge. Slide wire bridge. Okay, hope I think you would have seen in our physics lab. Okay, last year 12th standard when they are doing the experiment, no? Okay, you would have seen this apparatus anyhow, because I just want to show the apparatus here. See, meter bridge. I'm going to nicely see, and this is the meter bridge. This is the apparatus. Okay, so nicely you see there is a okay, I didn't note that again. Okay, so this is the copper wire. See, this is the blue color. Now this is a wire. Okay, so it is made of manganese or constant ton wire. Okay, and there are this is a, say, strip, metallic strip is here. This is a metallic strip, this is a metallic strip, here is a metallic strip, and this end is called as A and this is B. Okay, so let me give some other. Okay, this is A, this is A and B. This is A and this is B. Oh. It is okay. Two ends of the wire. It is connected here. Okay. Okay. And there are, you see, there are how many terminals? See, there are two terminals. You see here. There is a gap is there, no, here, and two gaps here also, and the two terminals are here in the center, one terminal. Okay, this is actually, there is a scale is there. This is a meter scale. It is or why it is called meter bridge. It has a wire, manganese wire here, which is of 1 meter length. 1 meter length. Okay, and here it is mounted here, and the two ends are actually, the two ends of the wire are connected to the metallic strips here. Okay, like that in this shape. Okay, metallic strips. These are metallic strips. This here, everything. Okay, and having, okay, gap here. There are two terminals here. This and this, and here this and this, and at the center tab. Okay, now what you have to do here is, okay, so we can use one here, for example, here one resistant box you can add. It is nothing but Wheatstone bridge. Okay, principle I told you, no, application. And for example, here is my unknown resistance. Let it be yes. Okay, here is my unknown resistance. I have to find this. I told you, no, Wheatstone bridge is meant for finding unknown resistances, right? Okay, and R and S is ready. P and Q, I'll tell you how the what is it. Okay, and the center is there. No, the center, it is connected to a galvanometer. It is connected to a galvanometer. Okay, and this is a circuit symbol for galvanometer. Okay, and with the galvanometer, what you have to do is, see, and you can touch it here in this wire. Okay, by means of what is that, this is connected to a galvanometer. Galvanometer is connected to what is called a jockey. What is called a jockey? What is jockey? I'll let you know. See, this is a jockey. This is a jockey. This also you would have seen in our lab. Okay, for nicely making some what is that, connection on the wire. This is a manganese wire. This is the manganese wire. This is the scale. Okay, for making the connection nicely, if you want to make the connection, if you want to touch the wire, this is a manganese wire now, 1 meter wire. So for that, jockey is used. And this is a, I think you know, this is a galvanometer. Okay, now coming back to see, places for connection. This is, see, I told you, no, here. Okay, these two R and S are there, no, they are connected here. Because if you people are doing the experiment, you know, it will be easy. But now, because you have not even seen the part, that's why I thought, let me show these things. See, here the two terminals where I told you R is connected. Here this is the terminal where R is connected. And this is a terminal where unknown resistance is connected. Are you following? And this is center now. There, what are you connecting here? It is connected to a galvanometer. It's connected to a galvanometer, and the other end is coming here. It is touching on the, what is the manganese wire, other end. By through, what is that called? A jockey. Through a jockey. Are you following? Is it clear? Okay, then how to use it now? That is the question now. So, now you see here. Okay, then now let us go to the explanation now. So, having, say, I think you have idea about what is a meter bridge now. Hope you have idea. Okay, so now let us go for the explanation. How to use it for finding the unknown resistance, that is S. Okay. Right. So, circuit diagram. I hope you can understand this is enough, or if you want me to draw the circuit, this is the circuit diagram, actual circuit diagram. Okay. Therefore, what is our R and S? S is the unknown resistance. Okay. And see here, if you want me to draw, I'll draw anyhow, because it will be easy. If I draw, I think you will understand. That is why anyhow. I'll draw here now. See, PQ, that is two wires AB. Okay, and it is connected to okay. Right. Is it clear? Okay, here, what is that in this? What is added here? Here is your resistance. And here, yes, unknown resistance. For example, S is a unknown resistance. Now, what we have to find out? And here is your what is the other point? A, B. Okay, and other point, let it be A, B. So let it be C. Okay, and from here, what is connected here? There is a galvanometer to jockey. Galvanometer to jockey. Okay, then that should be some source now. Okay, for that, here a battery and a key. Okay, therefore current will be flowing like this, and it will be coming this side. Okay, and the jockey point is J. Okay, this is a manganese wire. I told you AB is 1 meter wire now. Okay, so what is see, what you have to do here is very the R and S are the resistor. S is unknown resistance, R is a resistance box. There will be how many, there is a variable, how many, whatever resistance you want, you can add to it. Okay, that is a known resistance, right? What is R and S is ready? Where is P and Q? See, PQ is nothing but, what is that? Is this is this part of resistance AJ, resistance of the part AJ, part of the AJ length of the wire is P, okay, and the resistance of the part JB hai na, okay, that is Q. Okay, therefore this is P and Q. So PQRS, everything is ready with us now. Are you following? Okay, therefore now what you have to do, let R be the resistance per unit, this resistance per unit, small r. Okay, let me write here, let small r be the resistance per unit length of the wire. Wire कौन सा wire है? ये भी manganese wire. Are you following? Okay, resistance per unit length. Okay, and now what we have to do is, you add some resistance in the resistance box. S is unknown resistance, what we have to find. Connect the circuit like this. Then what you have to do, the galvanometer is there, no? With the galvanometer here, you have to search this jockey there, na? The jockey has to be taken throughout the length of the wire A to B. You have to slide it. That is why it's called slide wire bridge. Okay, therefore what is that? You have to slide it. You have to keep at different points till galvanometer shows zero deflection. You have to search the null point here. You have to search for null point. So what you have to do, you have to slide from A to B. Okay, therefore the deflection, at which point galvanometer shows zero deflection. See, let J be the point where the galvanometer shows zero deflection. J be the point where the galvanometer shows zero deflection. Okay, therefore now what is AJ? AJ, that is, let the length, let it be L. The length AJ, that is equal to L. AJ, that is equal to L. Therefore what is BJ? That is nothing but 100 minus L, na? 1 meter wire in centimeter means it is 100 minus L. Are you following? Okay, L centimeter. Okay, therefore BJ, that is equal to 100 minus L centimeter. It is centimeter if you want. Are you following? Is it clear? Right. Therefore, now you tell me, once you are sliding it, you are sliding this. See, hope you are what is that? This jockey, you are sliding throughout the wire. This is jockey here, na? Galvanometer and jockey. Here readily you can see the reading in the galvanometer also. By seeing that, you are sliding the jockey on the wire AB, and when you are getting zero deflection in the galvanometer, immediately, what is that? You have to stop there. And here it is attached to a, what is that scale, na? Meter scale. The wire is attached to the meter scale. Here also you see here in this diagram. Okay, right side. Yes, I'm okay. Therefore here this there is a scale is there now here. Like that, there will be scale that is attached to AB. Okay, in the instrument, the device. Therefore, readily you can see it starts from 0 at O and here ends at 100 centimeter. Okay, therefore J, what is J? You can find out from that readily, you can read. Therefore L can be noted. Once you know L, 100 minus L also you know. Are you following? Is it clear? It can be readily measured with the meter scale. Okay, therefore once you know, okay, now you apply. So which means that you are getting zero deflection. The galvanometer means balancing condition is achieved. Okay, now the bridge is balanced. It is a Wheatstone bridge. Hope you are following. PQRS, that is this is your P. AJ is P. Okay, JB is Q. The resistance of the part AJ of the wire acts as P, and resistance of the part BJ acts as Q. Okay, therefore what is that here? RS is ready, and in between what is that you are getting? In between you are getting, what is that? There is a galvanometer and a jockey. Okay, therefore this is nothing but the full arrangement, the full everything put together. It is nothing but a Wheatstone's bridge. It is nothing but the Wheatstone bridge. Are you following? Is it clear? Okay, right. Now you come, therefore once a bridge is balanced, then you can very well say that what is that? P by Q, that is equal to R by S. P by Q is equal to R by S. What is P here? P is nothing but RAJ. What is RAJ? RAJ is nothing but, okay, L into R. Y into R? RAJ. RAJ. Okay, that is nothing but L into R. Why? Resistance per unit length is smaller. Therefore, resistance of the length L, AJ is equal to L, na? Is equal to LR. Like that, what is R? What is that? JB or BJ? Whatever is that? That is nothing but 100 minus L into R, resistance of that part. Correct? Are you following? Okay. Therefore, applying that, what is P by Q here? Therefore, LR. Hope you are following, children. Okay. Therefore, once you know these two, what is RAG and RAJ and RBJ, therefore, I think you can apply it here. You can apply here P by Q, that is equal to R by S. What is PP? That is equal to L into R. And what is Q? It is 100 minus L into R. And that is nothing but R by S. That is nothing but R by S. Are you following, children? Hope you are following. Okay. Therefore, now therefore that gives you what? Okay, that gives you L by R, and R will get cancelled. Therefore, you will be getting R by S is equal to L by 100 minus L. Correct? Okay, but which is unknown resistance here? Yes. Therefore, yes, that is unknown resistance. Yes, that is equal to. S is equal to, what is that? 100 minus L by L into 100 minus L by L into R. Where are you following? This is a very, very important relation. Okay. There are here, I just want to tell you one thing. Here, see, the unknown resistance, where is the unknown resistance that matters? See, for example, here we have, there are two gaps are there. No, here left gap, this is left gap and this is right gap. When the unknown resistance is in the, here the right gap, no, here the right gap, then we are getting the relation like this. What is the relation? And S is equal to 100 minus L by L into R. That is the relation. Okay. But now we have, what you have to do is, if you are interchanging the resistance P, R and S, okay, unknown resistance is in the left gap. Now the unknown resistance is the right gap, and the unknown resistance is in the left gap here. Now that is why, see, in this diagram, so here it is unknown resistance, therefore it is in the which gap? Left gap. Okay, then your S will be, what is unknown resistance? S is equal to, same experiment you have to do. Okay, and when you are getting the balancing condition, that is when null deflection, the galvanometer, then find out L, 100 minus L, everything, and the final expression when unknown resistance, yes, in which gap? It is in the left gap. Then S is equal to L by 100 minus L into R. That's it. Okay. So, which gap is that unknown resistance that matters. So therefore it is in the right gap, therefore 100 minus L by L into R. And if it is in the left gap, then it will be L by 100 minus L into R. Are you following? Therefore that you have to see. There are, yeah, see, if how to minimize the error in the experiment. So what you have to do, first you have to keep your unknown distance a right gap, take 2-3 readings, okay, then find out what is S, and you keep it in the left gap, do the same experiment, okay, use this formula and find out S, okay, average of these two, that gives you the final resistance. Only then it will be free from, the error will be minimum. We can minimize the error by putting the unknown resistance both in right gap and left gap, okay, and find out what is the average value of X. Is it clear? Okay, hope you're following, children. Is it clear? Right.